Hi everybody, my name is Kayla. It's an honor and a joy to be able to lead Power Flow today. Things you're gonna need a mat, maybe a yoga block, maybe a strap, a water bottle, because we're gonna be flowing, working up some heat, some sweat, and you're gonna need a drink every once in a while. So grab those things and we're gonna go ahead to start in child's pose. Let your knees hang out wide, let your toes touch, and press your hips all the way down, back towards your heels. And I'm just gonna start today with a reading from Everyday Gratitude, just to ground our intention for today's flow. As you press your forehead into your mat, maybe you move your head from left to right, give yourself a little forehead massage. Starting to breathe deeply in and out. How you do anything is how you do everything. A quote from Sherry Huber. So let's do everything in our flow today with intention, grace, and strength. Taking 2 more full cycles of breath in this child's pose today. Last inhale. And releasing everything inside of your lungs. And pressing up into a tabletop position on your next inhale. Taking some organic movement here, moving your hips side to side, shaking your head, yes or no. Pressing back to child's, pushing forward. Just one more cycle of breath, of movement that feels good to your body today. And release. Coming to find some stillness. We're just gonna do a little bit of a warm up with some cat and cows. Inhaling into cow, lifting your head, bringing your gaze up to the ceiling. Exhaling into cat, pressing each vertebrae 1 inch closer to the ceiling, bringing your gaze to your belly. Inhale to cow, letting your belly drop towards the floor. Looking up towards the ceiling, and release cat. Take 3 more cycles of cat-cow, moving at the pace of your breath. Inhaling to cow, and exhaling to cat. One more cycle. Releasing to one last cat pose. When you've emptied everything out of your lungs, come back to a neutral spine, tabletop position. And we're gonna balance our tabletop today by extending opposing arms and legs. So on your next inhale, go ahead, kick your left leg out long, bring your right hand out long, and we're gonna inhale and lift. Exhale to touch your mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch your mat. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale. Exhale, release. Plant those limbs and let's do the opposite. So put your right leg out long, left hand out long. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. And release to your mat. 2 more, lifting to your breath on the inhale and releasing to your mat on the exhale. 1 more. Release, plant your limbs back to a tabletop. We're gonna go through 1 more time, adding 1 more step. So extend your left leg and your right arm long, inhaling your arm and leg up, exhaling, crunching your elbow to meet your knee. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, crunching. Inhaling, finding a little back bend, and exhaling, compressing your core. 1 more, inhale. And last compression. Release, plant that hand and leg back down, and we're just gonna balance out onto the other side. Go ahead, extend your right leg, your left arm. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, compressing. Inhale. Crunch. A few more, moving to your breath. Compressing on your exhales. And lifting, bending your back on your inhales. One more full cycle of breath. And plant your hands, press back for a little child's pose. A little relief on your low back. And inhale, come back to tabletop. On your next inhale, go ahead, lift your right hand high to the sky, and exhale, thread the needle for a little twist here as we're continuing to warm our bodies up. Take 2 full cycles of breath in this threaded needle. Inhaling deeply and completely. And exhaling audibly through your mouth. Last cycle of breath. Releasing everything. And inhaling, pressing your right arm all the way back up, reaching toward the ceiling. And releasing that right hand back down to the mat. Inhaling your left hand high to the sky. And exhaling to thread the needle, bringing your left ear to the mat. Again, being here for a few breaths, feeling that deep stretch in your shoulder and the twists throughout your spine. Inhaling, just surrendering to this posture. Acknowledging how you do anything is how you do everything. And committing to this posture, committing to this flow. That you are doing everything to your best ability. Committing to your practice today. And inhale, planting your right hand, pressing that left hand all the way back up to the ceiling. Exhaling, coming back to that center. And we're gonna go ahead and press up for our first downward facing dog of today's flow. Notice where you feel stiff. Walk that dog out, find some movement that feels good in your body. Take 2 full cycles of breath in this first down dog. Finding movement throughout those breaths before you come to stillness for 1 full breath. And on that last cycle of breath in stillness, Fill your lungs completely with oxygen. And release everything. Finding a small bend in your legs at the bottom of your breath and step or travel to the top of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, come for a ragdoll pose, grabbing opposing elbows. Again, find a little bit of organic movement here, maybe swaying side to side, maybe shaking your head, yes or no. Just take one cycle of breath in ragdoll. Releasing your hands to your mat. And inhaling, coming all the way up to standing mountain pose. We're gonna inhale our hands up above our head. And exhale, release them to your hips. And bring your legs just outside, hip width distance apart. This is our standing star pose today. We'll take a few breaths. Today's flow, we're gonna go through moon salutation a few times. This first one, we're gonna pause on each posture, taking a few breaths here. Feeling and settling into the pose. And on our second round of moon salutation, we're gonna move one breath per posture. Release everything. And inhale your hands back up above your head, stepping your feet together. And exhale, twist to half moon over to your right side. Letting your your arms cup your ears, bringing your gaze in front of you. Letting your hips feel strong and aligned. And inhale, come up through center. Exhale, we're gonna open our arms to cactus arms, step our feet out, and bend our legs for goddess pose. This is a good moment. Inhaling, pulling your shoulder blades towards each other, 1 inch more, almost like you're holding a pencil between them. And exhale, sitting 1 inch deeper into your goddess posture. Take 2 more cycles of breath in goddess. Last one. And inhale, rise for standing star posture. Just allowing your legs to straighten at the joints and bringing your hands out to point to either side of the room. Your gaze can stay forward in front of you. One more cycle of breath here. We're gonna go ahead and rotate your right foot to point towards the right side of the room that you're in. And we're actually gonna train track those feet. So both feet are pointed this way. And we're gonna go ahead and set up for triangle pose. So once you've got your legs and your feet into alignment, go ahead, bring your gaze over your right fingertips. Reach your right fingertips in front of you until you can't reach anymore. Go ahead, tick-tock your arms. Bring your gaze up past your left fingertips, and we'll be here on triangle pose for a few cycles of breath. Inhaling, elongating your spine, pulling the crown of your head towards the wall in front of you. Exhaling, bringing your hips into alignment, almost like you're standing in a toaster. One more full cycle of breath here. And release that left arm to meet your right hand for pyramid pose. Again, leaving your feet like they're on those train tracks. Options to bring your hands to the mat, to bring your hands to a block. Options to find a little bend in that front leg, allowing your head to come to your knee. Or you can straighten the front leg and have a little bit of space between your forehead and your knee. Take 2 full rounds of breath in this pyramid pose, feeling that deep stretch in the backs of your thighs and calves. One more full breath here. And we're gonna come in to a kneeling crescent lunge, bringing that left leg all the way down to your mat. Finding a bend, a 90-degree bend in that right leg, bringing your hands up above your head, bringing your gaze gently over all of your fingertips. And inhaling here for a few cycles of breath. Inhale one last time. Exhaling, finding 1 inch deeper into that crescent lunge. We're gonna actually pivot, coming back, facing towards the front again for a low side lunge. Option here to bring your hands to heart center, bring your hands to the mat for a little bit more stability, or to a block, feeling that deep stretch on the inner left thigh. We'll be here for 2 full cycles of breath. Last exhale. And we're gonna come right through center for a balasana squat or a deep squat, allowing your elbows just to make contact on the insides of each thigh, pressing your hands into that prayer posture and breathing. 2 more full cycles of breath here. Last one. Inhaling, we're gonna go to that low side lunge onto the other side. Now leaning over to our left side, feeling a deep stretch in our right inner thigh. Again, option for hands to come to a block, to the mat, or to a hand prayer posture. Be here for 2 cycles of breath, inhaling fully and completely, separating your shoulders away from your neck, and exhaling, releasing and surrendering to this posture for 1 more full breath. And on your next inhale, we're gonna pivot to that crescent lunge on our knee. Now having our left knee at a 90-degree bend, our right knee down to the mat, bringing our hands up above our head and our gaze follows the fingertips. Inhaling, reaching our fingertips 1 inch higher. Exhaling, sitting 1 inch deeper into the lunge. Take 2 more full cycles of breath in this kneeling crescent lunge. And at the end of your exhale, go ahead, press up to pyramid pose, allowing your feet as if they were on train tracks, parallel to each other, wider than hip width distance apart, bringing your hands to a block, bringing your hands to the mat, or they can come to the front of your shin. Again, straightening your leg, you can find a small bend, taking whatever variation feels good to your body today. Take 2 more full cycles of breath in this pyramid posture. Inhaling fully. And exhaling completely. And on your next inhale, opening up for triangle posture, bringing your shoulders open to the right side of your room, bringing your gaze up past your right fingertips. And with each inhale, pulling your upper body 1 inch higher towards the ceiling. Each exhale, bringing your hips in alignment over each other. And surrendering to this triangle posture. Take 1 more full cycle of breath in triangle on this side. And inhale, come up for a 5-pointed star, fully extended arms, legs just past hip width distance apart. Inhaling completely. And exhaling fully. 2 more cycles of breath. Last one. And find some cactus arms and deep squat for goddess pose. We'll be here for 2 more cycles of breath. Inhaling your shoulder blades 1 inch closer to each other. And exhaling your hips 1 inch closer to the ground. And inhaling, coming back to a standing posture, interlacing all 10 fingers and pointing your pointer fingers above your head. And exhaling, bending over to the left side for a standing half moon. Cupping your ears with your forearms. Excuse me, your biceps, not your forearms. One more full cycle of breath here. Inhaling, coming back through center, dropping your hands to your hips, stepping your feet out to just past hip width distance apart, and coming to hands on your hips, star pose for 2 breaths. We're completing our first round of moon salutation. Just kind of getting our body used to the postures, noticing where we feel tense, noticing where we feel ready to bend, ready to move. Just as we're gearing up to now do our full moon salutation, 1 breath per posture. So take your last full cycle of breath here. And inhale, step your feet together. Bring your hands above your head. Exhale, tilt to the right for that standing half moon. Inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. Inhaling, coming back through center. Goddess posture, setting up. Exhaling, squatting all the way down. Inhale, rising for our 5-pointed star. Inhaling, pivoting over, and exhaling for triangle pose. And inhaling, bringing our hands to meet the other for pyramid pose. At the end of your next breath, bringing your knee to meet the mat for this lunging crescent pose. And inhale, come to that deep side lunge to the right side, taking a full cycle of breath. On your next inhale, pivot through center for that deep squat. Inhaling, coming all the way over to the left for that side lunge. Deep stretch in your right inner thigh. Inhaling, rotating, planting your right knee and lifting, rising for lunging crescent. The crescent lunge on your knee. And exhale, plant your right toes, press up for pyramid, facing the left side of your mat. Inhaling, opening up for triangle posture. And inhaling, pulling your upper body up for a 5-pointed star, reaching to either side of the room. Exhaling, goddess pose. Inhaling, coming back to standing, bringing your feet to touch, your hands to interlace, and exhale for standing half moon to the left. Inhaling, coming back through center, dropping your hands, 5-pointed star with your hands on your hips. To end our first cycle of moon salutation, 1 breath per posture, and taking 1 full rest breath here before we go through one more time of our moon salutation, and then we crack into our core postures of the day. Let's go. Last round of breath, starting off our moon salutation, inhaling fully and releasing completely. Inhale, rising, bringing your hands above your head, half moon to the right. Inhaling, coming back to standing, exhaling, resting into that goddess pose. Inhaling, 5-pointed star. Inhaling, pivoting this time into your triangle posture. Pyramid. Remember, taking these movements with your breath. Bringing your knee to your mat for crescent lunge on your knee. Deep side lunge to the right. Moving at your pace of your breath, come to that deep, full squat. And coming all the way standing to your 5-pointed star. Goddess pose. Inhaling, stepping your feet back to touch. And exhale, half moon to the left. And 5 pointed star with your hands at your hips. Well done. That's our 3rd round of moon salutations. Completed. You are so strong. Take 1 full restful breath here. Inhaling completely. And exhaling all of your stale air out. We're gonna make our way down to our mats for some core work. Inhale your hands up above your head. Exhale, swan dive to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, take a flow, a chaturanga, high to low plank to upward facing dog and meeting in downward facing dog. Noticing how your legs feel a little bit more warmed up. This dog doesn't feel as tense as that first one of the day did. Take 1 rest breath here. Like I said, we're gonna do a little bit of core work today. So on your next inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg high to the sky. And on each exhale, we're gonna bring our knee to our nose. Inhaling to 3-legged dog. Exhaling, crunching knee to nose. Let's do 5 of these. Moving at your breath, your movements. Exhale. Inhale. Crunching, lifting, crunching. 2 more. Last lift and last knee to nose. Go ahead, plant that right foot back down towards the left foot for downward facing dog. And we're gonna go ahead, inhale our left foot high to the sky. We're gonna do core work on the other side. So you know the drill. Take these movements with your breath, crunching your knee to your nose, and inhaling your leg high to the sky, crunching your knee to your nose. 4 more. Last 2. Last 1. Go ahead, plant your knees and press back for a little child's pose, a little rest on that lower back. Come back to a tabletop, and actually we're gonna lower all the way down to our mat. Let's do a little Sphinx posture today, a little heart opener while we're down here on our mat. Allowing your elbows to rest directly under your shoulders. Propping your back up, just providing a nice little heart opener. Take 2 full cycles of breath here. Coming back to our intention that anything we're doing is a reflection of everything we're doing. And we're gonna release from this Sphinx posture, and we're gonna set up for some back core work. So we're gonna do locust pose here, bringing your hands, palms facing the ground, down by your hips, allowing the tops of your feet to be resting on the floor. And on your next inhale, we're gonna peel up your shoulders, pull up your feet, pull up your hands, press your toes to the wall behind you, press your fingers to the same wall as your toes, and bring your gaze up above your mat, up towards the ceiling. Hold for 2 cycles of breath. Inhaling 1 more vertebrae off the mat. Last one, inhaling and releasing the right ear down to the mat. We're gonna do one more locust pose. So take a rest cycle here. Emptying everything out. And inhale, lift up, look up, go up. Pulling your hips 1 inch higher off, pulling your shoulders 1 inch higher off. Take one full cycle of breath in this locust pose. And release, bringing your left ear down to the mat. Take one full cycle of rest breath here. And we're gonna press up into a tabletop posture. We're gonna set up for tiger pose. Bringing your hands directly below your shoulders, and let's go right side first. So you can keep your left leg planted. And we're gonna go ahead and peel our right leg up and kick those right toes, almost like we're trying to touch the back of our head. And you can bring your head, tilt it back towards your foot. Take 2 breaths here. I'm just gonna rotate so you can see it from a different angle. Inhaling. Exhale, release. And we're gonna go ahead set up tiger on the other side. So keep your right leg planted this time. And inhale, kicking that left leg up towards your head and pulling the crown of your head towards the tips of your toes. And release that left leg down to tabletop position. And we're gonna come actually down to our back this time. So however you would like to transition to getting down onto your back, go there. This is a place that I'm going to use a block. We're gonna do a couple different bridges, variations of bridges as we close out class today, working on kind of our core on the back side of our body. Starting, we're actually gonna do one-legged bridges. So this time we're gonna plant our right foot. We're gonna kick our left foot out straight, pointing our toes at the wall in front of us, bringing our hands down by our hips, palms facing the ground. And on our next inhale, we're gonna press up into that right leg. Exhaling, releasing. And we're gonna switch. Go into that left leg, pointing our right toes. Inhale, pressing up. And releasing. We're gonna go through, let's do 6 rounds of these on each side. So go ahead, plant your right foot again and point your left toes. Moving with your breath. Inhaling, pressing your hips up. Exhaling, releasing to the mat. Switching legs. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhale, releasing down to your mat. Switching our legs again. Inhaling, pressing up. That's 3. 3 more. Moving with your breath. 4. Keep going. You are so strong. 5. Last one. And let's take a Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of your feet into touch and letting your knees fall out wide. Allowing one hand to rest on your belly, one on your heart. And take 2 full cycles of breath here. Excuse me. Take 2 full cycles of breath here. let's set up for just a standard bridge. We're gonna do 3 standards. Option to bring a block under your low back or between your thighs for a little bit of added resistance. Bringing your hands once again, palms facing down to the mat. And inhaling, lifting your hips up high. Hold for 1 full cycle of breath. And release, bring your hips down. We're gonna do 2 more of those. Inhaling your hips high to the sky. Aligning your knees directly over your ankles. And releasing. 1 more. You are so strong. We're so close to the end of our 45 minutes today. Inhale, lift your hips. And release. Happy baby. Go ahead, grab your feet and just give your low back a little massage. Rolling from one side to the other. And then release. Letting both of your legs fall long. Hugging your right knee in, up to your right shoulder. And just take a little supine twist here. Option to bring your leg to a block or to the mat. And bring your gaze over your right shoulder, allowing your right fingertips to come out long. And just take some shallow breaths here. Maybe not quite as intentional as the rest of the flow today. But just take breaths in organic fashion.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I
Inhale, come back through center. Extending your right leg to meet your left, and then inhaling your left leg in for a hug. Taking supine twist on the left side. Allowing your gaze to fall over your left shoulder.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know.
Once again, inhaling, coming through center. This time hugging both knees in. And rolling yourself up to a seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center. Letting your eyes flutter closed. And just ending today's practice the same way that we started, with the intention. How you do anything is how you do everything. Wise words from Sherry Huber. So let's take how we do everything and apply it to how we do everything in our day-to-day, the small moments, the big moments, and everything in between.
Even if the sky
Bring your hands to to your third eye center. As always, it has been an honor and a joy to lead your flow. The light in me honors and adores you. And together we can bow and say, Namaste. Thanks for joining Power Flow today. Again, my name is Kayla. Please give any feedback that you have, anything that you want to see in future classes, anything like that. Please join me for meditation if you feel so inclined. And if not, we'll see you again next week for Power Flow. Take care.
I'm Sarah, and this is Cardio Dance. Are you guys ready to work out? Let's do it.
Through the bag. Go. That's where we want to go.
Last 10 seconds. I'm right here with you. Let's do it. Welcome to the Y. My name is Erin. I'm Jennifer. My name is Linda.
My name is Tommy, and today we're going to do a quick step routine.
We feeling like we can conquer the world today?
I wish you all could smell it. It smells so good.
Time. We get stronger in my world. We're going to do